In today's video, I have for you a really quick but vital tip to be more efficient with your driver. Maximise your distance by striking up on the golf ball, creating a high launch and low spin. Find out how. Okay, so although that was a little bit toey, pretty happy with the ball flight there. I got something starting right, bending left, not too far off target line, 15 yards. It carried a pretty good distance and it rolled a pretty good distance. I could have been more efficient with the strike. That let me down slightly, but I got a 15-degree launch angle and I got my spin rate way down at like 1,500. A little bit of that is going to be that high toe strike there. But what I've achieved is a high launch, low spin and really maximised my distance from it. Now with a slightly better strike, I'd maximise it even further and potentially be up there to sort of 260 odd carry, 290 finish. What I was trying to do with this tour stick on the ground was get the sensation that in my transition movement, so at the top of the backswing to start the downswing, that I was keeping my head behind this line, but allowing my lower body to actually move a little bit forwards towards the target. A lot of golfers are worried about lateral movement because they've been told about swaying and don't sway. Now the hips need to move somewhat laterally, okay? There is rotation as well. So if there was just lateral movement with no rotation, it would really look like quite a funky dance move or a lot of swaying in your golf swing. So there has to be some lateral movement and rotation, and now it looks a little bit more like a golf swing perhaps. The majority of elite golfers that have been captured 3D technology, they're moving their hips with the big stick, the driver, about 2 inches away from the target. They generally do it quite early in the golf swing as well, so there is some lateral movement. We are not staying static over the golf ball, okay? Not even with an iron. But I'm going to be focusing on the driver today because we're talking about maximising distance, hitting more up on it. But there should be a little bit of lateral movement away from the target. Now, the majority of elite golfers get their hips, the centre of their pelvis, about 4 inches ahead of its start position at impact. So if they're moving a couple of inches backwards and 4 inches towards the target, in total, from the backswing to the through swing, they've moved 6 or so, 6-7 inches laterally. Okay, so there is going to be some movement this way. We do that, in my opinion, by feeling like we apply some pressure, some force to the ground into our lead foot. So for me as a right-handed golfer, that's my left shoe. So at the top of the backswing, start of the downswing, I'm going to get the sensation that I'm applying some pressure towards my lead foot. You can see that starts to get my belt buckle, the centre of my pelvis, moving a little bit forwards towards the target and starting to rotate. But it's important that I keep my head back as I do that because we want to create a positive angle of attack with the driver. We really want that club swinging up on the golf ball, okay? It's been measured robotically at about 85 miles an hour, 4 degrees up, 4 degrees down and 0, with everything else staying staying the same, and it made 40 yards of carry distance. So you will maximise your distance with a more upward positive angle of attack. Now there are a lot of good golfers on the PGA Tour, European Tour, actually hitting down on it, maybe giving up on some yardage, but these guys and girls, remember, they're already hitting the ball over 300 plus. And they might just be trying to actually hit something a little bit more controlled, perhaps hit more of a fade type of shot. For your average golfer who's looking to hit the ball further, we want that upward angle of attack. So let me get that rehearsal move. And I'm going to get towards the top of the backswing. And actually, if we're talking about it, I don't want to go too in depth, but the majority of elite golfers, they reach their maximum pressure onto their trail foot about 3/4 of the way back when their lead arm is parallel to the ground. So as they're completing the backswing, the hips are already starting to go towards the target, okay? So we don't want to do it too late. So if you're feeling it a little bit before you finish the top of the backswing, that's good. But we're going to be trying to get my head staying back, my hips moving a little bit laterally towards the target, that pressure into my lead foot, and of course there is rotation as well. So it's not just a lateral movement, but it's not just a rotational movement. There is a bit of both in there. Head back, hips forwards. Now, I get a lot of golfers just starting with this. Okay, try and get that feeling of almost keeping the head back, keeping the shoulders back a little longer, almost to disassociate upper body and lower body. So I'm starting to move my lower body a little bit first. Let's see if I can put that into a golf swing. Just trying to keep my head behind this orange line as my lower body starts down. So looking at the ball flight there, I would think that I just need to get that face a little bit more open, get that ball starting a touch more right. Still got a high launch, still got a very low spin, just a bit further, or quite a lot further left than I wanted. I swung into out by 2.5 degrees and up on it by 5. I could potentially now even start to look at the tee height and actually peg that ball up a little bit more because I am striking up on the ball so much. To lower that spin, if you're getting that high launch but it's spinning too much, perhaps a lot of you now have got a loft adjustable drivers. Perhaps once you start hitting up on it more and getting that higher launch, take the loft down and that's going to help you lower the spin. Also look at your strike location. We don't want to be towards the bottom of the golf club. Try and get the strike middle or a little bit higher in the head, and that's going to help you take some spin off. Let me see if I can get this one a little straighter, almost with that face just a touch more open. Just really felt like I rotated a little bit quicker through impact on that one. To stop the ball going left, really maximise my distance on that one. Same sensation, keeping the head back while letting the hips go forwards. Much better ball speed up to 151. So pretty good efficiency. Again, massively on the way up, 5 degrees, 1.5 in to out. I got a high launch, I got a low spin, and I really maximise my distance. At the speed I generate, 103 mile an hour, I shouldn't expect to hit the ball any further than that kind of carry distance, 266. So I'm maximising my distance with that sensation. Where I would start is just some simple exercise. Get that cane between your feet, nearing your lead foot, maybe put the club across your shoulders, try and get to the top of the backswing, keep the head back and start with the lower body. So there is a pressure shift into that lead foot, the hips, the center of the pelvis is moving a little bit forwards. Then actually put it into a golf swing with that same sensation. Head is staying back, hips are moving forwards. It's going to help you strike up on the golf ball. That's going to give you some more distance. If you're still spinning it too much, you see that ball rising, look at strike location, potentially even lower the loft of your driver, and then you can start to, as I said, maximize your yardage. Hope that video helps. If it does, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and don't forget to subscribe. Right now, YouTube is suggesting the next video from me that you should be watching right here, so click on it.